Welcome to another exciting episode of Smash Writing. I'm your host today, Paul, and you've seen the title, you've seen the picture. Today, I'm reviewing Moonshot. It came out March 31st, streaming on HBO Max. Now, we've been busy here at Smash Writing. So it took me a good minute to catch up and get to this film. I wanted to do this review right off the bat. Generally, we want to try to start doing, same day releases, or wait till the opening weekend or something like that to give every time to watch and see if you agree with us. I'm a little disappointed. And let me tell you why this was a little bit of a disappointment without telling you of reviewing it. First off, I hate romantic comedies. I did not pay close attention to the buildup of this film to realize that this was a romantic comedy. Ugh. Now, even talking about this is, and it's why it's is because it's romantic comedy. Now, I love space. I love outer space, learning about space. I at one time wanted to be an astronomer, but that passion never went away. I do stay in touch with learning about the astronomy stuff and everything else like that on top of my other hobbies and other paths of careers and stuff like that. Astronomy is still deep in the heart. So anytime there is a movie about space, I have to watch it just because it's space. Yeah, that's kind of what bit me in the ass, is that I seen this film and I wanted to watch it because it's about space, going to Moonshot. Now the title is Moonshot, which let's talk about this. Okay, so the film stars Cole Sprouse, which you may know him from such films as Big Daddy, or this Suit Life of Zack and Cody, or whatever that he did with his brother. I never really watched it, so I can't really tell you that. I know the gist of the show and that he was one of the main characters, Zack or Cody. I don't know, nor do I care. But it starred him, Lana Condor, which you may seen her play Jubilee in X-Men Apocalypse, Emily Rudd, and Zach Braff. Okay, first and foremost, can't stand Zach Braff, but they used him as more as like 5 minutes total of screen time, which to me was probably the best thing they could have done with him. Any more, his comedy just goes down. Check out the review of the remake of Cheaper by the Dozen that I did that starred him as well. Okay, so we meet a couple of characters here. Walt, played by Cole. Sophia, played by Lana. And it's really those are the main characters. So basically, we're in the year 2049. Space travel seems to be going on with ease. They have a base on Mars, that they're working on colonizing. So outside of space programs, and they're just trying to make it good for us everyday people to now go to Mars. Well, this is where we meet Walt, who wants to go to Mars super, super bad. That's all he ever talked about. One day, his roommate and him goes to a party. And once again, he's still trying to get on to get a ticket through his college program, that if you're in that field, you know, or you can do something for humanity up in Mars, you get to go to Mars. Needless to say, Walt's no scientist. Walt does bring as much laughs to the film as possible. And of course, I'm referring to Cole. He probably was the best spot of this film. But anyway, at the party, he meets a girl named Jenny. And Jenny kind of develops a thing for him because they have some of the quirky traits. But she reveals that unless something convinces her otherwise not to go to Mars, the next day she's leaving for Mars. So she and Walt stay up all night. They talk, they have a good time, and she still reveals that she still wants to go to Mars, which I think in some ways excites Walt, because he too wants to go to Mars. So she leaves and they begin texting, kind of like an online relationship, because I mean they're like 50 million miles away from each other, so kinda has to stick to texting. But it all seems like it kind of just stays texting, no like FaceTime or anything like that. So at one point, the text messages start to die down. Now, Walt now gets in his head that she may not be interested in him no more because they haven't seen each other in a while now. So he plans, one day at work, he comes across Sophia. Now, he met Sophia at the party when he walked in on her while she was video chatting her boyfriend, who is also on Mars to, help humanity out. So he was obviously there, and they're staying there for a very, very long time. So, and she and Walt broke her orb to FaceTime him. So she's still kind of bummed about that. But at the coffee shop where Walt works, she comes in, and he kind of like basically sets up a blackmail plan, which works. He gets on the ship with Sophia, but he is kind of like breaking into the ship to go. He just needed to get over the security clearance. So there they go. They travel. They shoot up there, and they're on their way to Mars, which takes roughly 35 days. In that time frame, Walt and Sophia kind of start getting close. And you can see chemistry starting the build between them, and they kind of start liking each other, even though up on the ship, Walt has to go by her boyfriend's name, Kelvin, because nobody knows what Kelvin looks like. And that's the only way to keep him safe. Of course, they go through the ups and the downs and the turnarounds. And yeah. Just when you think Walt was actually going to get Sophie, Calvin, her boyfriend, calls and reveals that he set up a bedroom for her, and even has a picture of her deceased parents waiting, and she instantly realizes that she loves Calvin and not Walt. Walt, I think, develops some feelings for Sophia to the point where it does kind of rub him the wrong way, and they get in a spat and they kind of go their own ways. However, Walt, being loyal, doesn't sell her out and just goes to jail himself. That's where we see Jenny come in And I guess with his Walt's cat who snuck on the aircraft that she came up with, she reveals that she does have a boyfriend on Mars, and she just wanted to say hi and give him his cat. Okay. Then enter Zach Braff's character. Zach Braff's character is Leon Covey, who is I like an astronaut who sponsors this program to get college students up there. And he kind of reveals that he wants to use him, and reveals that while he was all these adventures that he was going through on the spacecraft to get here was actually recorded, and everybody actually knew who Walt was, and they call it, now they call it like tiptoeing around Waltering, or something like that. And to avoid any type of prison and stuff like that, Leon wants him to work for him, kind of basically as a guinea pig of sorts. Which one of the guinea pigs is that he's going to one of Jupiter's moons to make a ribbon cutting, because now Leon wants to expand past Mars, and the next available body is to go to one of Jupiter's moons. Well, Walt says yes, realizing that nobody wants him, and he wants to say goodbye to Sophie. So when he learns that she's taking a ride back to Earth, he breaks in to the spacecraft. Once again, probably want to get himself into legal trouble. And him and Sophia talk and kiss to signal that they are now in a relationship. The end. Yeah, Moonshot to Mars. Okay, all jokes aside, I do have to give this a thing. Romantic, I often talk about like how films like comedy has to have comedy. Obviously, romantic films have to have romance. Science fiction has to have some type of sci-fi involved, which obviously is going to Mars and treating it like an everyday thing is right now currently sci-fi. It does deliver on two of the three to a T. It is a typical love story. It does add the element of traveling in space. The comedy part falls short. Now, I will give Cole Sprouse credit for playing the character Walt. I thought, as I said at the beginning of this film, Walt was the best part of this film for me. That's about it. I do think the rest of the comedy kind of falls short. Using Zach Braff for all of like 5 or 6 minutes of a film that's 104 minutes, I think was probably the best touch you guys could do. Will I watch this film again? No. So because of that, because the comedy falls short, except Cole, the romance was predictable, the sci-fi was okay, I'm going to give this film, I want to say 75%. I think it was okay. I don't think it was bad. I don't think it was good. But there could have been better punchlines. There could have been better situations and everything else like that to make it funnier. And they just didn't. Keeping Zach Braff down to literally like 6 minutes was probably what stopped this from going below a C, maybe to like a D in the 60% range. He's just not funny. Cole Sprouse played a funny character, Walter. I love the Walter. I think Walter we can relate. A lot of people can relate to Walter. And his little bit of sarcasm, even though he's not smart to kind of pull off any type of scientific type of stuff. Character development was just on pace. You learn about them, but that's about it. I mean, you didn't really get into their depth. Sophia, learning about Sophia and her being another lead character and focusing on her backstory a little bit. Good touch. But 75%. It is streaming on HBO Max, so go check it out and you give us your opinion. Until next time.